give me some time first and foremost with him to actually talk to him and drill him with questions. Now, I'm just joking. We'll just be having a conversation with him, having a chat, laid back, trying to get an understanding of how he thinks about the game, his career so far, and getting to this point, becoming SA under-19 captain. We've had so many great captains in the past that we've seen. I mean, someone was on our channel recently. George actually reminded me, Aiden Markram, a former SA under-19 captain that lifted the trophy. So something that we're really going to chat to him about, and you guys have an opportunity. You don't get this opportunity often, so please make use of it in the live chat. Have a conversation in the live chat and ask him as many questions as you do want to. Try to keep them easy and simple. Don't try to make them overcomplicated. I think I'll ask him majority of the complicated questions so that you guys don't have to. But ultimately, let's see what we come up with. I'm really excited about this particular interview. I know you guys are all very excited too. So let's get straight into today's content. A very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics magazine. This is your fan call-in show, your fan Q&A. I'm your host, Khalid and my co-host today, George van Heerden. Welcome to the show, George. First time on the channel. Very excited to chat to you. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks, and you, sir. Thank you so much for inviting me on today. It's a privilege to be here with you, Joseph.
Yeah, excellent. I'm very excited to chat to you. I like to start my conversations my first time, obviously, chatting to you on this platform. So I want you to give me maybe a little bit of a description of yourself, where you played your cricket in your formative years, and how you got to this stage. Let's just start from the beginning. How did you get introduced to cricket, and what made you want to walk down this path of becoming a professional cricketer?
So my cricketing days started quite early. Throughout our family, we've all played cricket. I think from my dad and my grandpa and all of my uncles and just everybody, we've all played cricket. So I think I was kind of born into it. I was going to play cricket either way or the other, but I fell in love with it as soon as I started playing. I started at about 6 years old. I then attended grade junior. And my first proper cricketing matches, I'd say, started under 10, then played for the EP teams throughout the age groups. And yeah, for me, I've personally looked up to the Warriors guys, starting with John Smats and all the years here in the Warriors, and then obviously the Proteas guys, and I've always just wanted to become that. It's been my dream ever since I started playing.
What a dream to have. So you mentioned some of the guys. Who were the guys that you looked up to in the Proteas setup before you actually, and which ones did you get to meet actually?
So I've always looked up to my guy that I've always idolized is Jacques Cullis, being an all-rounder, definitely Jacques Cullis. And then my auntie actually dated Mark Barger for a while, so then I got to meet them in East London, which was absolutely insane as a little young guy, and that actually motivated me even more. But other than that, obviously, AB de Villiers is retired today. I've idolized his batting. And then from the Warriors, there's also an old grey Wayne Parnell. Looked up to those kind of guys as well, playing for the Warriors.
No, excellent. It's a nice, different variety of different guys. So your selection for the under-19, and when that happened, and for the first time, what went through your head, and then being now selected as captain to lead the team at the World Cup?
Yeah, so it's probably one of the best moments of my life. When we had Cubs Week, I'll never forget the first time when we got selected. We're sitting there in the room, and everyone's thinking about it, but you don't want to say anything. You haven't talked to anybody about it, and it's just like that, almost like relief, and you just feel it's like it was insane. One of the best moments of my life. Huge honor and a huge privilege now to lead the team. I mean, there's so many talented guys around me. It's almost, it's not even that difficult for me because you've got so much talent around you and such brilliant support systems in place. So, massive honor and a privilege, and I'm really looking forward to it.
So your coach, Shukri Conrad, we know that he has a certain style of play, a certain philosophy, and the way he wants to approach the game. What sort of conversations has he had with you with regards to the way you want to play cricket at this particular World Cup?
Well, I think Mr. Conrad, so he wants to play a very attacking and expressive brand, but in the same time, with us trying to get that right, as you guys saw in the T20s, we mustn't be frantic and overdo it. So it's finding that balance between being very attacking and being frantic. You got to try and find the even ground, and that's what we're trying to do at the moment. And I think the more that we play and in all of our preparation games and all that kind of thing, we will get there as time goes along, because obviously going from schoolboy cricket and all that kind of thing, we haven't been playing this brand of cricket a lot. But yeah, very excited for the new brand of cricket, because I think we have to try and catch up with where everybody else is. So yeah, very excited for that.
Cool. So I'm gonna leave the rest to the comment section, and let's see what they come up with so long. Hi George. In which area of your game do you want to improve? And that's from Ashwani Talks.
In my game, do I want to improve? Probably rotating strike early in my innings and being able to get off strike quicker, not relying on that boundary to get me going. Probably my biggest one at the moment.
And I'm gonna add to that. Like, what would you put in place to try and do that? Do you think?
For me personally, early on in my innings, I generally like to feel bad on ball. So for me, it's allowing myself to not go searching for it and trying to actually someone's end up throwing hands because I feel like I have to hit the ball in my first few balls or something like that. And then I feel like I have to get a boundary to get myself going. So I think it's almost calming myself down and backing my preparation and backing all the prep that I've done in my game plan and just trusting that that's going to work for me. And that if I just give myself some time, it will end up working out. And I have to go looking for things in early on my innings.
Mm-hmm. So Dex wants to know, who is your favorite player in the current Proteas setup, like Aiden, Yanama, and Rassi, or George?
My favorite player in the Proteas setup at the moment, probably Quinton de Kock. Is one of my favorites, and then also enjoying how Markham's playing at the moment. Yeah.
No. Markham's really revolutionized his game recently. It's unbelievable to watch him grow as a player over time. So Ashwani is another one. Who will you want to emulate as a player in world cricket?
Past player, is that fine? Past player?
Let's go with a past player in South Africa, maybe. Or no, let's go with a past player in world cricket, and then maybe we can talk about right now in the game as well.
100%. Being an all-rounder, I think I've always idolized Jacques Kallis growing up. And if I could be half as good as him, that would be insane for me. So definitely Jacques Kallis. And then in the current game, I really like how Ben Stokes plays. Mitch Marsh is playing very well at the moment. So any of those all-rounders around the world as well.
Mm-hmm. Talking about that all-rounder role, balancing, this is my question now, not from the chat, but balancing that, how do you do it? Because you get guys that either lean towards batting or lean towards bowling, and sometimes you can get mixed up between the two. But how do you find that balance so that you can focus on both equally?
I think it's quite difficult for me. I had a stress fracture when I was in grade 9 3 years ago. So from then, I almost had to focus more on my batting because I wasn't able to bowl as much in that part of my life. So I'm trying to get it back to where it was almost, because I've had to build it up quite slowly and change my action a bit and all that kind of thing. But I think it, like the main time with balancing it comes in practice. You can't overdo one skill and then neglect another one, because then it just takes over, if you know what I mean. So if you want to be a genuine all-rounder, I think you got to spend as much time doing both, and then obviously fielding, just trying to make yourself as valuable as you can to the team.
That's excellent. Yeah, because I've obviously seen a lot of all-rounders come through the system. There's currently so many playing currently as well. And the fact that you are thinking like that, that's brilliant, because we need people to think about the game in that way. Another one from Ashwani Talks is, any exciting talent to watch out for, George, that you know of, maybe in the current team? I know you don't want to maybe talk about your players because you're probably going to list the whole team.
Talent around that I've seen in schoolboy cricket, or
let's go schoolboy cricket.
Schoolboy cricket, I've seen a guy from East London, Adam Duplessis, been batting very nicely lately. Daniel Risto from Grey, nice little young talent to come up. He's coming through the system. Then if I think about other players in our U19 setup that have just missed out, I think about guys like Sam Rawisi, could have just missed out of the team, are also very up and coming.
That's excellent answer, actually. PM wants to know, how confident are you regarding the upcoming Under-19 World Cup in the Caribbean? Who do you think from the current squad would make the Proteas setup very soon?
Confidence is one thing. I think we don't want to be overconfident, but you got to back yourself and back your ability. So I think going into this prep now, going into the West Indies for the bilateral series before the World Cup is going to be crucial for us, because we haven't played too many under-19 international games. We've played more in the CSA tournaments and all that kind of thing. So I think that's going to be a good place for us to see where we're actually at as a team. But yeah, feeling confident. Don't want to be overconfident and get ahead of ourselves. But yeah, and then who do I think will make the Proteas very soon? I don't know. I'm backing all the guys in the team. I don't want to mention anybody specific. I'm thinking hopefully a few of us could.
Great answer, man. Okay, we got Aiden Miller over here. What is your highest expectation that you want to accomplish in the future? Simple.
My dream is to try and play cricket at the highest level as quickly as possible and for as long as possible. I think that's probably my dream, eh?
Yeah, of course. Verne Erasmus, one of the patrons on this channel, which cap in that room are you sitting in? Is your favorite?
One above my head, yeah, my U19 one. So it's actually above my where the camera is now, because I sleep here behind me, and then when I wake up, that's the first one I look at. So it's my U19 one, yeah.
Oh, that's great vision. Geo says, which cricketer do you think you play like besides your heroes mentioned? Like, who do you play like? Who games similar to?
What, like professional cricketers now?
Probably, yeah. Didn't really specify.
Like to think similar to Van Heerden, giving myself chance in the beginning and then trying to express myself a little bit later when I get in. Yeah, probably similar to Rassi at the moment.
That's great. Okay, so George, thoughts on playing in the T20 knockout?
I think it was an awesome experience for us. I think we learned or had to learn very quickly. All those guys are very experienced. And I think the biggest thing for us was realizing that it wasn't the pace or the amount the ball was spinning that was the big difference. It was how consistent the players were at doing their skills well and hitting the same area and backing their game plan. So it wasn't like we were way out of our depth. It's just having to adapt to that level of cricket and that thinking. I think that the thinking was the biggest thing for us that we have to adjust. And I think it's prepared us well for all of the upcoming games in the West Indies and everything like that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Who is the ball the further, Dewald or yourself?
Dewald would like to differ from me, yeah, but I reckon I did further than him.
Okay. About your teammate Dewald Brevis, you want to elaborate on him?
Me and Brevi, we have a brilliant relationship. He's actually from Northerns. It was quite funny. We met each other at the 13 week, I think, national week, and since then I've got on like flipping anything. I actually go and visit him in Pretoria when I'm up there on the U19 camps and everything like that. And his parents have been to my house here in PE, so we've got a brilliant relationship. We roommates on tours, so yeah, flip, we go way back, and I love spending time with him.
Have you checked up on him today? Because some massive news broke today.
We actually yeah. I don't know. I think he's probably in the States today. I won't lie to you. He actually tried to video call me a little bit earlier, so I must get back to him. How dare he? So his Instagram post is all about AV and how he's outlaws. Yeah, no, I think he's in the States today, to be honest.
Yeah, you have to check up on him, please. I'll also check on him a little later. Your favorite cricket brand? I'm assuming that they're talking about the way obviously different teams play different brands of cricket all around the world. So maybe compare it to this current World Cup. There were different brands played. You know, Australia played a different brand to New Zealand and to Pakistan, etc. So, but what is your favorite type of brand of cricket? If you look at a team currently that they're playing,
I think probably the English team. I think they're playing a very good brand of cricket at the moment, and we're trying to get there, the Proteas. So I think, yeah, probably that brand of cricket, aggressive but not frantic, the way we're trying to play the U19s, I'd say, yeah.
Okay. A country you're looking forward to touring one day? I mean, you're getting West Indies. That's like everybody's one, a lot of people's dream.
Yeah, 100%. I've actually been fortunate enough to play in England on a school cricket tour for Grey, and that was amazing to experience those conditions. And in the future, I think besides the West Indies where we're going now, it'll probably be India and Australia, because they present such different challenges. In India, the ball's going to be turning square, and then in Australia, bouncing a lot. So probably those two countries.
Can I ask you a question about spin? And because
100%.
generally speaking, I want to know what's been done at school level with regards to playing spin to prepare guys now, because I think it's improved a lot more than before. We had a lot of struggles over the last couple of years playing spin.
Yeah.
We saw South Africa struggle in India. Is there other things being done specifically at your school as well, and maybe in the provincial setup when you guys are younger, and with the East Under 19 team to help you guys combat that?
Yes. Well, I know at Grey we've been extremely blessed to have Mr. Smith there and various other coaches coming in to help us a lot with all the things that we needed. So we'd identify areas of our games where we wanted to improve, and then we'd always have the resources there. So have been so blessed. And then with the S Under 19s, Mr. Mackenzie's actually been putting us on the Merlin machine in Pretoria to make sure that we're getting that spin work in, because I think almost an eye opener. We don't face spin like the Indians bowl it or whatever in this country that much because our pitches don't allow for it. And then you go there and you're shocked. So we actually have been doing a lot of work on that. And then Mr. Mackenzie flies out to all the different provinces around the country with all our players in, and then comes and has individual camps with us, which has been awesome.
So before I get to the rest of the live chat, we've got my other co-host on the show today, Aditya, joining us. He rushed here to get here. So thanks a lot for getting here, Aditya. Do you have anything you want to ask George before we get back into the live chat?
Yes. What do you think of T10 cricket? And
T10
yeah,
I think it's an awesome initiative. It's even less balls, so I think you even have to be more aggressive and more attacking. It gives you more of a license as a batsman. So I actually love the concept, to be honest. Yeah,
very cool.
100%.
You can ask your heart until your heart's content.
Well, at the moment, team has made 122 runs in 6 overs. So I think that's an indication of what's going on in that T10 competition right now. I think Faf du Plessis is struggling a little bit in his first game as T10 captain.
100%. I think you have to think like flipping T20 cricket. I promise you, in that T20 knockout competition, you are emotionally drained after captaining there because you have to think about so many different things at the same time. So flip T10 must be havoc.
Yeah. No, T20 is incredible. Anything else you want to ask Aditya before we get into the live chat?
Not really. Go on.
Okay, cool. I'm going to give you, I'll read out 2. You can read out 2 questions as well, Aditya. Let's go. I need to find my space now, George. Okay, I'm going to ask this one. Hello, George. How tough do you consider to lead a side like South Africa?
For me personally, like I said earlier, everyone around me has made it so much easier. Our management staff has been absolutely amazing for me, giving me all the support that I need, and then all of the players have just made it so easy. So I wouldn't say too difficult with all the people that we've got around us and the support systems that we have in place.
I'm going to ask one more. Quickest bowler you faced in your career?
Quickest bowler I faced in my career? That's a tough one. I'd like to say when I was in grade 9, it obviously felt very quick. But I faced a guy named Oren Fisser, and then he got a stress fracture. He was quick. Steve O's is quick. I faced the England U19 opening bowler when I was in grade 10, a guy named Casey Aldridge from England. He was quick. But the quickest, I'd have to say, was a guy from Millfield. Can't remember his name. Very, very quick. I think he was a Jersey opening bowler. Can't remember his name, but yeah, probably one of the quickest.
Cool. Good job.
Any bowler from the past or in the present lot that you might like to face?
It's quite funny. I was saying to my dad about that. I think, like I said earlier, for a different challenge, something that we don't get every day would be a guy like Rashid Khan. I think that would be an amazing experience with the way that he bowls so quickly. We were looking at Liam Livingston and how he was bowling in the World Cup, and it was so similar to Rashid Khan, leggies that are bowling very quickly. So I think that would be an awesome challenge.
What have you learned from the T20 competition as a team?
I think for us, the biggest learning was adapting to the conditions quickly, because every day we were faced with a different challenge almost, and we were in a different position, and it's almost adapting to with Coach Shukri in the way that we want to play. We want to play the conditions and not the player. So I think just being able to assess what is happening quicker and make the decisions on where we wanted to go as a team a lot quicker.
Okay, Muhammad Amin wants to know, George, pick one, winning the IPL. I think he's already laughing. Winning the IPL or playing one game for the Proteas?
Yo. That's like two dreams, but probably playing one game for the Proteas. I'd love to play in the IPL, though. It would be insane.
SA wins again. SA wins again. There's another one over here from Mohammed Hazim. What do we expect this time from his under-19s in the World Cup this time? We have been very disappointed in the last 3 under-19 World Cups.
Well, we hope we won't be as disappointing as the last 3 years. We hope we can do it half of what Aiden and them did back four World Cups ago. But yeah, I think like we've been speaking a lot about, I just want us to try and stay true to the brand of cricket we're trying to play and not waver back on that if it doesn't go away in 1 or 2 instances, because playing this aggressive brand of cricket, it can't, and like cricket always has been, you can't do everything well every time. So we've got to just try and stick to that and trust our processes and hope it goes well for us.
Thoughts on Cunningham?
Ethan Cunningham, brilliant batter. I think he's a hard hitter in the top of all of us and very, very important for us, because if he gets in and bats for a long period of time, then we're going to have a good score on the board. So I think EJ is crucial to the success of our team. Yeah.
What's your favorite shot to play?
Favorite shot to play is either cover drive or pull shot.
I want to see a lot of those coming in. Pull shot is my favorite shot to watch. George, seeing as you are roommates with Devot on tour, you need to help him improve his English. he can't just use it for self-defense anymore.
It's quite funny that you mentioned that. When we were on tour, we had this thing when we were in Kimberley on our first one. We were there for like a month or so. And he said to me that I have to speak to him in Afrikaans and then he's going to respond in English. And I was way worse than him. So I actually couldn't be a critic. And then from then, he always reminds me every time when he messes up, because almost the language we use is English. So then when he makes a mistake, he's like, hey, I don't ask you to speak Afrikaans. So I was like, okay, baby, I'll give that to you.
But it's funny because I think his English is pretty good for his
me
age.
too.
I think so. Interesting observation, Werner.
Spending so much time in these bubbles and stuff like that, he's had to speak it so much. I think, and playing so much cricket, you have to. So yeah, it has improved a lot, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm hoping that coming on Cricket Fanatics magazine helped him as well. He better tell me that. Aditya?
What do you think of the Proteas' recent World Cup performance?
I think the Proteas were insane in the recent World Cup, to be honest. Very, very unlucky. To win 5 games and not make it through is just actually crazy. I think they played brilliant cricket. They beat England, which were probably the tournament favourites going into the tournament. So yeah, brilliant brand of cricket, and I was so proud of the way they played.
This isn't the $1 million question, it's the $1 billion question. There's a billion people following these 2 players, Babar or Virat.
I'll have to say Virat. Yeah.
It's very difficult for me, but it's 2 of my favorite players as well. So it's
Yeah,
very
exactly.
difficult for me even to pick. You really did answer that one. DJ, you can go for a couple of more because I've been speaking a lot.
Sure. Yeah. Do you think hard quarantine rules impact teams in the West Indies? We saw New Zealand under-19 pull out because of it.
I think it is quite difficult. We've actually been quite blessed in the beginning of the bubbles with the SN19 and stuff like that. The quarantine periods are much longer when we weren't vaccinated. But now with the vaccines, they're not as long. And the bubble is going to be a bit tough for us because, as I said, we're going for the tour of the West Indies before the World Cup. So it is going to be a very long period in the bubble. So I think that might be a little bit tough mentally. But I think when you're playing cricket and you're at the ground training and chatting to your family and making sure that you're balancing your life, we should be able to get through it. Hopefully it's 2 months. It's going to be quite long, but hopefully we get through it. I'm sure we will.
First slip or backward point? Your preferred position?
I'm not going to lie to you, backward point. I have the ball flying with the bat there. And I back myself with slip, but I love running around and giving some energy in the field if I could, backward point. But I'm going to find myself with first slip a lot more now than backward point.
I'm slipping. Sorry.
Okay. Do you see a similarity between Dewald Brevis and David de Villiers?
Yeah, definitely. I think he's tried to build his game around ABs. His mannerisms are so similar. The way he bats in the net and holds his poses and everything, very, very similar. Really. Butler or Maxwell?
This is a $1 million question, I guess. Josh Butler or Glenn Maxwell?
Quite an interesting one. I think they both offer two things: Maxwell bowling and then Josh keeping. I think at the moment, probably Josh Butler in the World Cup, how he's playing and stuff like that. But saying that, Glenn Maxwell was amazing in the RPL. So yeah, I'd be happy to be either of them, but probably Butler at the moment.
How many matches does the West Indies series consist of?
It's 5 ODI matches, I think, before the World Cup. 5 against the West Indies, yeah.
Have any franchise teams approached you with a possible contract for next year?
Not franchise teams as per se. I think hopefully playing varsity cricket and then transition into franchise cricket if possible. But yeah, let's just say that for now.
Yeah, keep it quiet. Don't come and expose yourself here. So, guys, I really enjoyed this one. Thanks a lot for tuning in, George. Thanks a lot for coming on. We will definitely get you on in the West Indies as well. Just keep we won't hassle you with too many messages, but if there's an opportunity to come on, let me know, and you can always come on the show. Just let me know. But I will be in contact with you again because we really enjoyed having you here. So thanks a lot for coming on the show. Aditya, thanks a lot for tuning in. To the guys in the live chat, thanks a lot for tuning in too. Don't forget to subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine Monthly. Aidan Markham's on the front cover. It features my exclusive interview and an article by Aditya on it as well. So please go ahead and check that out and download it. It's 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month, including all back issues. So there's no charge whatsoever. All you have to do is put your email address in. So thanks a lot for tuning in. Smash the like button. Share this with all your friends and family. And we'll see you again very, very soon for another video. Take care, everybody.